Okay, I think we should be recording right now. I think we should be recording right now. It's recording in progress. So we are going to be addressing the assignments that we gave in the previous class. In the previous class, we're going to be addressing it. So there's an approach to this, and we'll talk about it. So I'm going to share the general approach, right? I think we mentioned this a lot, is that you need to save your file as UTF-8 encoding. You need to make sure your encoding and everything is correct, is properly done. We talked about that. So let's actually explore this one together, because there are some things that we didn't necessarily talk about that we really need to take note, especially when it comes to let's say working with data, like importing data now in Postgres. There's a lot of important things that maybe specifically we didn't talk about, but I like this assignment like this, because you run into issues and I'm like, what's going on? I did what I was told, or that kind of thing. So we won't be covering the two assignments. Remember, I gave two tables that we should try to work with. So we're going to only cover one. So why I chose only one of them, because one of them has longer tables. So if we look at the one we'll be exploring is the, what's it called? The beverage data, right? The beverage data. So I think my screen is probably showing. It's taking a while to load. Enable editing. So this is what we will be looking at. This is what we'll be covering. So yes, before let's do this. Let's write our create table statement first of all. But there's something I need to say. When we are working with SQL, especially when we're working with tables, it's very important that we understand, or we know, like we specifically are what's the word? We're intentional when we're creating our tables. So I will tell you what I mean. So let's look at this and try to create a table from this, right? So let's go to our Postgres. I don't know what that is. Then move a bit. Let's go to our Postgres. I'm working with the POSHEM database. I have several databases here. So what I'm going to do first of all is create a query tool. Let's create a query tool. I don't know if you can hear me. Is my screen still being shown?
Yes, your screen is still being
Can we
shown.
confirm? All right, so I can assume that the recording is also being on. So we are going to work with this data set first of all. We're going to do this together, right? So this is an Excel encoding. No, nothing has been changed. Nothing has been done. So we'll just write our create table statement first of all. Create table, and we see what's going on. So create table.
I have a question.
Yes,
Hello.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Do you have to clean the data from Excel, or do you have to clean the hello? Do
Yeah,
you
I can
have to
hear you.
clean the data from Excel, or you
Yes.
just put it like
Yes.
I'm
Not
asking?
necessarily
Do
clean
you
the
have
way.
to clean?
Yes, we'll have to touch one or two things from Excel before we bring it here. And I'll tell you what we have to touch. I won't say clean. I'll just say make more well, yeah, let's say clean, because there's some things we need to do that will make working with this data a bit more easier for us, right? So I'll just say create table, and I'll call the table maybe beverage data, right? And I open my brackets to get that part. So opening my brackets will be me now defining the items in the table. So according to how my table is, I will define the items in the table. So I'm just going to go to the next line and maybe start from around maybe here. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter what I'm doing right now. So yes, back to what Glory was saying. So there is this kind of thing you need to take note of when you're working with tables in Postgres, right? So normally, right, when we are working, this is our query. These are some things we did in our previous class. So select all from employee. Select. You'll notice that the employee columns, the column titles are all in small letter. Do you notice that? ID, employee name, department, they are all in small letter. And if you go all the way here, unfortunately, they are not all in small letter. So what, and like there's a reason why we always like we always like to convert, like first of all, before we even start doing anything, our heading titles to small letter. And I will explain to you right now. The reason is because, for example, Postgres, there's one thing Postgres does in the back end, like behind the scenes, just a rule in Postgres. If I change this select statement, select all from employee. So this is just from our previous class. I'm just copying this from our previous class. This is our previous class note, basically. If I say select all from employee and I decide to say um select all from employee, where, for example, right? For example, where, so it's just almost like this delete statement or whatever, but I'll say where employee name is equal to, there's something I want to show you. Be patient with me, please. Is equal to Peter. Employee name equals to Peter. What's going to happen? It's going to give me a result, and it's actually going to show me where the employee name is equal to Peter. But here's what I want you to also take note of. This employee name, you can see here in the columns, it's in small letter. Yeah? But when I wrote it in capital letter, employee name here, it still worked. There's a reason behind this. When we are calling columns or column titles in Postgres, yeah, regardless of what we call them, like if the capital, if you put the capitalization, if you make them capital letter, what do you call it, uppercase or capital letter, right? It's Postgres by default sees any time you call a column or a column name or whatever, right? It always sees, let's not say whatever. Anytime you call a column name, Postgres interprets it as being in lowercase. So although like in the queries, anytime you call your column names in the queries, so we're writing employee name in the queries, employee name is a column. Yeah. And we put it in capital letter and it worked. But in our table, it's small letter. So Postgres, one important thing to take note, like when you're calling columns, it always converts it to lowercase. So although it's in uppercase here, it carries it to being a lowercase column. That's what happened by in the back end in Postgres. So we might not be seeing that, but we need to take note of that. Why is that? Why is that? So another reason that another way or another explanation I can give you about this to supplement this is that, even within our create table statement, if we go all the way up, even within our create table statement, we also did not say ID or employee name. We didn't say employee name in capital letter. We also follow the normal Postgres convention of putting it in lowercase. So we have no issues. So even like when we're calling it in uppercase, it's converts to lowercase because that's what we put it as, and that's also Postgres default. This is a lot of talk. So let's get into the practical aspect of what we mean now by trying to answer the question, which is our assignment. So I'll just be quick a bit. So yes, let me tell you this now. So for example, right, I create this table, or let's just create this table together. Let's not say, for example, let's create this table together. So personally for me, yeah, because I know that if I write things in capital letter, Postgres converts to small letter. Yeah, I would also like, I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you
Yes,
can hear
I
me.
can tell you, sir.
Yes. So where that is important to us here, where that is important to us here is this. All our headers or headings, right? They are not really all in capital letter. So if you look at retailer starts from an uppercase, then the rest are in lowercase. If we were to import this to Postgres, for example, and let's say I call this beverage sales data, right? Let's say I call this, let's say I do the correct encoding and everything I need to do, and I call and I say, okay, for example, I've already created the table and whatever, which we will do right now, and I say select all. Let's say, for example, from beverage data, which does not exist yet, right? Beverage data, where, and I say maybe I say where retailer is equals to soda pop. If I say where, if I do it like this, right? Select all from beverage data, where retailer, if I say retailer with capital R, then retailer is equal to soda pop. Yeah, the main thing you need to note is this. Remember, anything you put in uppercase by default, Postgres turns it to lowercase. So you can see retailer starting from capital letter and the rest are in small letter. Yeah, so it's actually starting with an uppercase and the rest are in lowercase. But unfortunately, Postgres will convert this all to lowercase. So we might be having some kind of errors in the future when we're working with this. But it's very important to take note. So if you were to call, let's say we imported this data according to the conventions all the way here, were to call this now, I would start having to put double apostrophe. So we need to, this create table statement is how I will approach answering this question. So the first thing I would do before I even convert, please, if I'm being too fast, feel free to stop me at any time and I will try my best to explain, right? So the first thing I would do, right, is to look at what's going on all the way here. I think Papa Charlie, you were able to do something like that. What I want to say is that like wherever you saw spaces, which you like change spaces to underscores. I think you did that. I think you did that. I don't know if you can hear me. So I'll just say find space, replace with underscore, the normal find and replace all for the titles. Okay. Let's just do it manually. We'll just do it fast. I don't know if we are with me. I don't know if we are with me. Are we there? I don't know if anybody can hear me, just to confirm that I'm not alone in the call. So I'm just going to be fast about this. Then replace. Please, I feel like I'm alone here. I feel like I'm alone here. Please tell me if
I
you
can
can
hear
hear
you,
me.
sir. I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so are we following? Are you getting if you need any explanation, just tell me. So first of all, I'll just convert just for ease, like when I'm running my queries, yeah, to convert everything to lowercase in terms of the column headings, right? So beverage brand, I would just say, and any spacing, I will give it an underscore. Very important, very, very important. Beverage brand, right? Price per unit. So P, this might just take a short while to do, but this is very important. First of all, this is a very important first step. So give us like less trouble or less struggles when we are running our queries. So I'll make sure I convert this. So unit sold, unit underscore sold. And I don't know,
Hello, sir.
yeah.
Okay, in essence, like for why you are doing this is so that it doesn't raise an error back.
Yes, it might raise errors when we're trying to call name these things when we're running our queries, first of all. So to account for that, just make sure all your column headers are in lowercase and there's no spacing in the column headers. First of all, that's the first thing I'm
Okay,
doing.
let's
And
make all our headers in lowercase and no
in
spacing.
lowercase, no spacing in between. So, or if you want to indicate a space, replace with an underscore. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. The next thing I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe if you saw this error, because I saw this error myself. Yeah. So there's an error that you might also see, that you might see something, you might see an error that maybe the data type, there's a type error in terms of maybe whatever you define, right? They'll tell you maybe this cannot be in this format or this cannot be this format. So what I'll just do usually before I start, okay, what I'll do, I will define this so that we can see it together. So it not be as if I'm coming up with the data type I want to give it of head, right? So let's actually write a create table statement for this. So of course, we need to always make sure that the table we are creating is the equivalent to what we have in our Excel CSV or Excel file. Is an Excel workbook right now. We'll convert it to a CSV. So retailer ID, date, month, region, state. So what I do to just save my own time, I make sure that I just copy after I made sure the headers are all in lowercase and the spacing I replace with underscore. I just copy the header titles and I bring it all the way to Postgres. So I can just paste. After I paste, what I'll do is very easy. I'll just just be clicking enter, like I'll go, because once you paste this thing now, it comes out like this. So there's a space after everything. So your state space, variable space, price per unit space, like so. You can just space just make everything easy for you. So I can just be pressing enter to kind of arrange my create table statements or create table query, pressing space, pressing enter. So like carrying everything line by line because I want to define everything line by line. So everything will be easy for me to see. This is quite a lot, but it's not that much at the same time. So I think I brought my brackets down too much. Let's bring it all the way here. So now we can do the next step. So not just when, of course, we have seen with in our create table statement, we have put basically equivalent, we have basically put arranged it in the correct order, which we have it in our data, which is cool, right? So the next thing now that we've done, like that we should do after we have, put our column headers or column names in the create table statement, of course, our data types. So let's see the data types so I'm going to use today. It's going to be a bit different from the one we usually use. So retailer, let's look at retailer. Retailer should be a text file. So I can save it as text, or this time, let's not save it as text. Let me save it as a varchar. So varchar, what's a varchar? Varying character length. So something that it can have varied character. And let me define it quickly and let me just finish writing this and explain to you. Varchar means varying character length, right? Or varying character. And me writing varchar 50 here is saying, okay, this retailer column can be as long as possible, yeah. But unfortunately, as long it will not escape the cap of 50 words. So it can be as long as possible, but the highest length is going to be 50. It's going to be 50 words long. So if I actually look through, I don't think it will be up to 50, but it's like just setting a cap limit for the text. So it's a text file, right? So I'm just saying, okay, a text file, it can be as long, it can be 2 characters long or 3 text, like per row, like it can be 3 text per row, 4 text per row, like in terms of like the total characters in the row, right? So me just saying 50, just saying, okay, highest it can be is 50. So it can be, well, you can have one row 10, 20, with 30, with 3. So highest can be is 50. So make sure to always put your commas after. So we haven't put commas anywhere because we just press enter and everything. We just wanted to just be able to have everything in here. So the retailer, I think I can leave my retailer ID as integer. What is an integer? Basically, is a whole number without a decimal point. So usually IDs, I'm not seeing any normal. Maybe I might be wrong about this, but usually IDs don't have in decimal points, just their whole numbers. They can be several characters long or whatever, but they're usually whole numbers or integers. So I'll just give this an integer data type, int. So integer, I think if you are used to normal math, you can be also used to this. Like it's just no whole number something. Like it's not a float. In some cases, you call them float. In some cases, they might be called another thing, a decimal. But it's a whole number. So retailer ID, I'll give you that. Date, I'll call date. So it's a date. The date column is a date data type. Date. Month. Looking at this, maybe I shouldn't have involved the month inside, but I just said, let me just leave it here. I can even save month as a varchar if I feel like, because there's nothing I'm going to do with this month. So varchar is almost like text, it's basically text. But yeah, now like you always put a limit of whatever thing you are going to create. So I'll say varchar. I'm not going to do anything with that. I'm actually supposed to even remove that from the data, but I decided to leave that there. So because I'm not going to do anything with that, and we are not going to do anything with that, we can decide to drop it later when we're at, I think when we're talking about what is drop table and whatever, but we can drop them later if you feel like. So that's varchar. Region, I can say region should be varchar. Region and state can be varchar. I can just say varchar 50. So sometimes you see somebody's create table statement varchar 255. Some people like leaving it as 255. Because they might not know how long whatever their column or the data in their columns are, or what's it called? Yeah, they might not know how long it is. So some people you say they like saying 255, but we can say 50
What
in
if
our.
you, excuse me,
Yeah, go ahead.
if you don't describe, for example, you say you just leave it like that, but you don't say 50,
Yeah,
what will happen?
it'll probably give you an error. So you have to describe. So if you Like now, this varchar 50, right? Instead of you just not describing it, you can just put it as a text. So text is like unlimited, basically. Text is good. We have used text before. Text is unlimited. Varchar now, you're saying, okay, variant character, it can be so many characters long, but it will not be more than the cap which you have set. So if you don't know the cap, if you're not sure of how long the characters in the columns or the rows are, yeah, in that specific column that you're defining, just leave it as a text. If you're not sure, the text is fine. Instead of the varchar, because varchar you always have to define, set your limit. Basically, it's like you are saying, okay, it can be so this is so characters long, but not more than this. So you always set a limit. What if you set a limit and there's a data more than a limit, and you set the limit again? That data is still like, so you can just say text if you are not sure of how long the characters in your row might be or in your column might be. So the next thing now, beverage brand. Let's look at beverage brand. I think I can also give it a varchar, Coke, Fanta, all this kind of thing. I can give it a varchar also. So beverage brand, I can see, notice I always have to put my commas correctly. So you can remind me if I miss any of them. Varchar, I can say 50. It's not be more than 50 characters, comma. Price per unit, price per unit. So what should we name this as? So price per unit, I'll probably give this numeric because I'm seeing decimal points. So what I will do at this point, just in case, I will convert the data type to something else. So give me numeric means you can have decimal points. So I'll convert it because like why I'm converting it specifically is because there's dollar sign here. You might click on it and not actually see the dollar sign. I mean, if you look at my formula bar, there's no dollar sign. But I don't know if any of us here were part of the people that saw errors for this. So if you don't change the data type here, you might see errors. You might see something like dollar sign 0.50 cannot be accounted for because we are defining it as numeric here. So I can say numeric, but just in case to give us less stress, right? Always just check the data type in Excel or in the with Excel or whatever app you are using, maybe LibreOffice or whatever. So always check data type. And me, I'm just going to convert mine to a number. Convert mine to a number. Can have decimal points. Unit sold. I think for unit sold, I will give it an integer because I'm not gonna for this data, the units I'm not going to sell anything in 0.5 units. So everything is going to be a whole number. So 1 unit, 1 unit, 1 unit. I'm not selling half a unit, so I can give it unit sold integer. So just in case, because I'm seeing commas, this commas might affect me possibly because you can't see the formula bar, but it might possibly affect our data importation. So I'll just also change this. What will I change it to? I can change it to number, but I will just reduce the decimal point. Let's reduce the decimal point to 0. That's a bit better. Profits, I'll do the same for profits. Number decimal point to 0. Or let's leave profit as numeric, just in case, because I'm seeing something 0.50. So profit price per unit, numeric, unit sold int, profits numeric. So price per unit numeric, unit sold int, that's integer, right? And what's it called? Profits will be numeric, right? Numeric. So I can write in the capital letter or lowercase or uppercase, it doesn't really matter. Comma. So I'm writing data type country. So country can be varchar. I don't even need to look at that one. Country can be varchar. I'll just say 50. I know it's not be up to 50. So from here, I can easily run this, but just in case, let's look at okay, commas, 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 commas. All right. So this is the ending. Some people like putting this, what's it called, semicolon, but it's good also putting a semicolon at the end of your queries. But the thing is that with pgadmin, you don't necessarily need to. This is very useful. This putting a semicolon, or what's it called, after your query is very useful when you are working on, let's say, that PSQL shell. But Postgres has already done it for us that even if you don't put it, we will not run into any issues. That's why you might see, I don't know if we have, but if you might see other post queries, I mean, elsewhere, you might see semicolon stuff at the end there. It's not really needed because Postgres understands that. You understand when we need to stop our query because mostly selecting. So it understands the end of our query. So I am going to run this and basically create the table beverage data in front of our eyes. So create table return successfully. So I can go all the way to my database and kind of look at it in my schemas. Remember the division into schemas. So there are different things actually here. And let me refresh this. Let's refresh this, right? Refresh this, and you'll probably see beverage data here. Beverage data here. Beverage data. I don't know if we're with me. Are we with me? Are we together?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Can you
sir.
guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so
sir.
let's continue.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
continue. No problem. Thank you very much. So let's continue. I would okay. Now let's try to import the data actually. So to do that, I need to complete, remember, convert to Excel CSV command delimited, that's the UTF-8 format. So I'll go back here and I think this should be done. So like in terms of like the things we need, yeah, we have done what we need. So we just need to convert this now to the appropriate format. So I'll go to file, of course, just the normal save as, and choose where we want it to be placed in our system, right? So I'm going to save it where should I save this? Where should I save that? So many things. Okay, 18th November. I'll save this as a UTF-8 and beverage data. It's okay. Okay, okay. So this is not where we are going to be again. Let me confirm that it has been properly saved on my system. Excuse me, excuse me. So we're here, 18 November, beverage data, comma separated values. What's going on? Let me just confirm that it's been properly saved. Yes, so this is it, this is it. Converts. Yes, this is how it is now. This is now basically almost like a text file, basically a text file. So let's bring it into Postgres. So now that we've done all this, there should not be any kind of errors. So we know how to import data. You click on like we've created our tables, right? The beverage data. Right now we want to import data from a CSV something into the Postgres, into the PG admin, right? Into the PG admin table that we've created, into this beverage data table. Remember, we created this table, we set all these things at the data types per columns. So it's gonna be easy from here. I'm just gonna right click on beverage data. I mean, there's several options here, but you have to look for what you are most interested in, which is the important data. So I'll just look for where it is on my system also. So we have so many things, 18th November, beverage data. I think I can click on this. CSV, UTF-8 encoding. Okay. So if there's an error, we'll figure it out. No error. I think that's very good. I think that's very good. That's very good that there's no error. So I can now decide to, this should be commented. We don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. So it's good that there's no error. So we can test it out.
Would
Select.
you please, pardon, would you please repeat the process again of importing, please?
No problem. I'll have to draw the table, but no problem. Select all from where beverage data. So I think with this, we can be able to answer it. No, I gave us 2 tables to do. I've given us all possible ways to avoid errors. So I can invert this table again. So let's see, how do we do it? Please remind me how I can delete a table. Please remind me. We did it in our previous class. Anybody, please?
You go to the on your left side, you search for
Okay.
the table, then you delete. You right click delete.
So I should right click. I should press delete.
No,
Yes.
this is what you want to delete.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or should we not? Let's not delete table. Let's not delete table. Let's drop table. So let's remove all the content of the, yes, I think let's remove all the content of a table, keeping, so like the table will not really exist in terms, it will exist, but we just have the column headers. So I don't want to do that delete one. It's too straightforward. How about that one that we delete the contents, but the table structure still remains. Who can remind us? Let's do that one.
You use truncate.
Okay, the truncates.
Yes.
Okay. Truncate what? Truncate. Please remind us. Let's remember fully.
Let me say truncate beverage data.
Truncate beverage data. Will it work? Are we missing something? Anybody? I think we might be missing something. I think we might be missing something. So remember, it's truncate, yes, but truncate table. Just like
Okay,
create table.
table.
Yeah, create table, drop table, truncate table. And the table we want to truncate is the beverage data. So now we don't have anything, basically. We have the table structure, which we've created in the create table statements. I don't know if you understand in Glory. We have the table that we've created, but we have no data inside.
Yes.
Right? So now we want to import data inside our.
Mr.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This trunk, if we use drop table, are we still going to get the same result?
No, we're not. Drop table deletes the table permanently. It's gone.
Or it's just as the same thing as right clicking and deleting?
Yes, it's the same thing as right clicking and deleting. This truncate now, like we just delete all the content. So this is the normally after we say create table and we define it, this is what we have when we do select all. I don't know if you remember. We just have the table column table that we have defined, but no content inside.
Yes.
So that's the major difference. Truncate deletes the content. So this table structure and everything is still there.
Okay, but when you use drop table beverage data, it deletes the table completely.
This is the table is gone.
Okay.
It's gone.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's why I just said let's use the truncate so that we don't have to rerun that create table statements. But anyone would have worked, yeah, but I think this one was a bit better. So let me refresh that and let's confirm again just by saying this. Just confirm again there's no data. So let's import. So remember, you right click, you look for import export data, right? So what I'm clicking on this folder, this thing here. This folder stuff carries me to my folders on my computer system, right? So this is where I saved it as. This is where I saved the file, buried data, something, right? This is where I saved it. This is where I saved it. So I'm just clicking on the file. CSV, UTF-8. If yours is not in UTF-8, you can just click on it, but it should work. It used to work regardless, but just in case, I always do it. Choose the encoding UTF-8. So now this thing, the funny thing about this, the process will start and you see green because the process always starts. But the other part now that you see red is the painful one. I'm sure that's the painful one when it just turns red. Like, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? So if I rerun this again, you will see now we have a populated table. So we have a retailer, we have a retailer ID, we have a soda pop, we have this thing. So let me even run this. I was giving us an example. Let me run this. If I run this like this.
Mr. Gosa.
Yes, okay. Go ahead.
I'm still the red one is still popping up on my own now.
It's still popping on your own, even following all these steps.
Yes, even following all the whole steps.
All these steps, I specifically opened Excel and showed us all the things I did.
As a matter of fact, I was following you through. That's why I wanted to be very sure that is it
every step, like the
yes, now retailer I use voucher, retail ID I use integer, date I use date, month I use voucher, region I use voucher, state I use voucher, beverage brand voucher 50, the same price per unit, numeric.
How about the steps where I mentioned entering entering Excel, and I said, okay, let's be very careful about how we name. Okay, let's be careful about the data types within the columns. How about those parts? Were you also
Yes, I
following?
was. I actually did that. I changed my the whole header in my data to what's it called? Small case, small letters.
Okay.
I changed
We're
everything.
spending no problem. We'll spend a lot of time on this. So just quickly share your screen. Let's give it 3 minutes. If you can't troubleshoot it, we'll find a way. Maybe after the class. But let me give you the screen share. I really want to see what's showing you.
Okay, sir.
Am I still sharing? Okay, I think I'm still sharing. So you can go ahead and share yours. Let's quickly try to look at what's going on there. Okay. Okay.
This is the query now.
Okay. Let's see
Yeah.
your Excel file. Open your Excel file.
This is my Excel file.
Okay. This profits, I'm seeing commas in your profits. Just change it to number. Change profit unit sold, price per unit to all numbers.
They are all numbers, actually.
No, just change it in that general, like the way I did. Change to number. Yes. The thing is
Are
that
you meaning they should not have the formatting,
yes, like the thing is
the
that
commas?
yes, it will look as if it doesn't have the format because like you will see the commas this thing, but when you click on the columns, you will not see the commas. So you're like, no, it doesn't have the comma formatting. It's actually Postgres actually sees this thing as having the comma formatting. So if maybe that 0.50 was $sign 0.50, that's how it was showing right now. But you click on it and you don't see $sign. Postgres unfortunately sees $sign there. So you need to convert to number. Yes, I think unit sold was we use integer, right?
Yes, unit sold is integer.
So you have that would be a number without decimal place. So this is also this is
What are
CSV.
you saying about the $sign?
So if before this price per unit was in dollars before, like the original file I gave us, like that in the original Excel file, you see price per unit in dollars. But if you actually click on it, you will not see dollars. Yeah, but as long as it's showing dollars in your, like you are seeing dollars there, convert it to number, convert it to a numeric, like just the way you did just now, converted to this thing, then like that. So what you're going to do about this, right? So convert all these things, all these necessary things, save again, update the save as a CSV command delimited, update the save, then close your Excel. Then hopefully it should
I've
be
changed
able.
this one to number. I've changed this also to number.
Have you said Control S?
Okay, let me save as.
Just save just resave as this thing again. Yes, I update. Yeah, save. Yes, replace it. Replace it. So hopefully there should be. So close it. Close it. You can close it. Close it and try again. So close it and before you try again, sorry, refresh your tables. And try it again. Click on view process. Click on view process. Make you actually see the error that's showing. Yeah, view process. Click on that. Yeah, click on that place. Date time field out of range. Very line 2. So it looks like we might have to change the way our date is on Excel. I didn't change mine. I didn't have any issues. We might have to change yours. may have to change yours.
On the Excel sheet, on the CSV file.
Yes, you might have to change yours on this CSV file. Let's click on it. Click on C. Click on that C, this thing, so select everything. Change it to date. Change it to just date, short dates. Let's see whether it might make any difference. Control S. Personally, I'm not really seeing anything there. 2022. Okay, 2022. Okay, change it. Wait first. Press no. Let's custom change like this date time, this thing. So 22, let's make it 20, some look like this, 2022-01-14. Let's do it like that on Excel. So press cancel.
Okay.
Go to, yes, that date, go to more formats. Scroll down to the end. More number formats. Like you see it's more number formats. I don't know if you can hear me.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, try that more number format. Let's change it to the year being first. The year.
Let's change it to.
So just go to the more number format. 2022, the year to be first, then the month, then date. So year, month, date, more number formats. Towards the end.
I'm at the end, sir.
Yes, the bottom. You see after text, under text, you see more number formats.
Yes, nothing else there.
No, check it. I'm seeing it. More number format under text. You can actually, is a way to custom format whatever you have. So these are not all the options. So under text, under AB text date, it's not part of the things you scroll through. Like that box at the edge of the box, you see more number formats. So you actually don't need to.
Okay.
Yes, more number formats. So go to date. Let's change it to year, month, and date. Go to date. So change it to, yes, that 2012-03-14. Let's try it. 2012, yes, that one. Okay. Then let's just do that save stuff that we'll just replace and try it again. If it doesn't work, I would have to see what I can do about figuring it out.
I've saved.
So let's try to close. Then let's refresh before we try it again. I think it should work this time. If it doesn't, we have to figure out what's going on. But the class will have to move.
Anything else?
Yeah, just press OK. Let's see if that has addressed the issue. Oh, that has been addressed.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you too. So probably we should have just seen the error. Just
So in short, you have to be careful of the data types.
Yeah, you have to
from
be careful of
Excel.
Yes.
It's not just like Power BI where you can come and define them when you're in the tool. For SQL, you have to, that's why I was asking if you have to clean your data from Excel.
Yeah, you have to actually clean. Yeah, you can call it clean your data from Excel. So make sure the formatting and everything is on point, and you see green. That red, when you see the red, it's not funny. I'm sure it's
Then
not,
I have a
not funny at
question.
all. Go ahead.
Let's say when you are creating the query for tables and you have already run it, if you have, for example, in your columns, you want to make a mistake and you want to correct maybe the data type, how do you go about it?
So we'll be looking at that in this class. So that'll be I think alter table, alter columns. Yeah, we'll look at this in this class. So that will be a continuation from the previous class. You can actually change the data type of your columns. they're working with. Kind of like if you made a mistake, oh, maybe this wasn't the right data type that you wanted to choose or you wanted to go with, you can actually change it. You can actually change it. So we will quickly look at that though. We'll quickly look at that. So it's possible to do something like that. So Papa Charlie, I hope you're good.
I'm good, but I don't know why this one is showing relations. Privilege data does not exist. SQL
Beverage, you
is
call it beverage dates. That's what you name it as, but you're putting beverage data.
Thank you very much. I don't think I headache.
It's fine, it's
Thank
fine,
you
it's
very
fine.
much, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I'm going to take over sharing my screen. So I think for the other assignments, it'll be easy for us to find a way. Basically, just following this format, you'll be able to get a good what's the word? What they call it? A good solution to the questions just by following basically what we've done, because we have tried to troubleshoot this in different ways. And if you just follow it or maybe watch the video again of the class, you'll be able to jog your memory or find a way. There's always a way. When there's a way, how they say it, there's a way. So, but yeah, that would be that for that. That would be that for that. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to continue from where we stopped in our previous class. In our previous class, we actually covered a lot of things. We covered create table. We covered what do we cover? Delete from. We covered the drop table. We covered the insert into. We covered the values. Yeah, we covered a lot. We covered quite a lot. We went quite a few. We went. Yeah, we covered a few things. We've covered a few things in our class, which is quite good. So we'll continue from here, and we'll soon answer your questions. Glory, we'll soon answer your questions. Also answer your questions. Also answer your questions. Yes. So let us continue. Let us continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. Last thing we did was the create employee new. What was this? Okay, we created a new employee table, right? Create employee new. Select from employee new. I don't really remember. We just wanted to have wanted to delete something, or I've forgotten exactly what we did, but yes, this is where we stopped. This is where we stopped. This is where we stopped. Anybody can remind me that we deleted astrology? We're just trying to explore different things, and we'll continue from here. We'll continue from here. So yes, we will continue from here. We'll continue from here. But any questions so far from our last class that maybe we didn't understand that you might have brought to this class that we can just quickly talk about before we resume? Okay, in the absence of questions, let us answer Glory's question. So your question was, what if, right? What if you want to change the data type? Okay. That was the question. What if you want to change data type? Maybe you made a mistake, but like of the data type of that you set, right? Was that a question, Glory? Made a mistake of the data type you set, and you realize, oh, that's not the perfect one, that's not the best one, and you want to change it. You want to change it. So that one is not, it's not that crazy. So I'll show you this. So let's change department, right? Let's change department to voucher 50. Let's change department to voucher 50. So we're looking at the employee new table. Employee new table, that's the table we're looking at, just to remind us. So it's quite easy. Alter table. We're using something called alter table. Did we use it in our previous class? I don't think we have. We use the delete from, we use the update. Yes. So alter table. So alter table, generally, there are different ways to alter a table. Alter table is an SQL command that can help us to alter, basically change the structure of our table in different ways. So we can add a column. With this alter table, you can do things like, let me write it down, add a column. to your table, so you can add a column to your table. You can alter your data type, in your table. That's alter data type or modify data type. So you can call it alter, you can call it modify data type in your table. So it's just basically changing the structure, altering the structure, just like the name. Alter table, you can add a column. Alter table, you can modify a column, data type. So add a column, modify. Let me just put in the next line. And let's do the modify column data type. So we want to modify this department, right? So we'll start with alter table. Start just like create table. We want to create table, start with create table. I don't want to even truncate table. We always mention it's not just truncate, it's truncate table. It's not just it's create table. It's not just drop, it's drop table. And then if you get, so it's not just alter, it's alter table. So you can see SQL syntax is quite simplistic. It's not trying to make itself difficult. It's trying to tell us exactly what we want, and that is the specificity of SQL. Or let me use big words, but SQL is a specific language. You have to specifically tell it what you want to do, and it needs to understand. It needs to understand. So let's do this. Alter table. What table do we want to alter? We want to alter employee new, right? Employee new. We're not just altering a table, we are modifying a column. So it's just like how the insert into works with the values. Alter table has different things. So I can say alter table and I want to modify my column. So alter table has to be expressed first that you want to alter a table structure, and you can say modify column. So I will say modify column. So I'll mention the column name. So the column name is department. Modify department. And what do I want to change department to be? Let's change department to be voucher 50 or even 25, but let's say 50. So fingers crossed, let's run this. There's an error somewhere. Where is my error? Where is my error? Where is my error? Modify department. Let me see. Let's see the columns again. Modify. Select all from. Okay. Okay. Our tables are ID. Our tables are employee name. That's our columns. Employee names, ID, and this thing, right? And we said modify. So I don't know. Maybe I should give this to somebody to try on their screen and see what happens. Anybody want to try it? Just let's see. I don't know if we have this data set that we did. This employee new. Did you do it to the where I stopped?
I got stuck somewhere.
Okay, don't worry. I'll just do it. I'll do this again. Okay, so we're starting with alter table. That one's fine. And let's see why we're resuming an error. Okay, yeah, I think okay, no problem. Let's change this. This is not a Postgres code, so we'll use a different thing. So alter column. The granularity was wrong. Alter column. So I was giving the wrong thing basically. Alter column, departments, yes, not modify. I don't think modify works with this with Postgres. Alter table, alter column, and this should work. Department voucher, what is going on here? Okay. Let's put type in front of this. Yes, this should work. Yeah. So I really like how that turned out. Let's find out whether the data type of the employee new has been changed. Okay. This has been changed. This has been changed. This is very good. I think we need to take note of this. Alter table. So the next thing you say is, what are you altering? The column, alter column. And you mentioned the column, you mentioned the type, you mentioned this type actually in your query. You actually mentioned this type in your query. You mentioned the type in your query, and you mentioned the type you want to change it to. Alter table, alter column, type. So, and now we've been able to confirm so that the department column has been changed to varchar, character varying, character varying, character varying 50, character varying 50. So that's what happens when we want to alter the column data type. So if you're not satisfied with the data type that you used when you were creating your table, you can always do it from this with the alter table, this thing, or alter table, what's it called? Alter table, alter column. You can see it has like a structure. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to ask a question. I'm just this thing curious.
Go ahead.
The thing is, personally for me, if at the end of the today now I close my what's it called? I close my query platform. As
Yeah.
in, if I want to start up, the whole thing I've done previously wouldn't be there. It's just like I don't know.
Okay. So the thing is that you always need to make
Just the
sure.
way yours is, you just went to where we stopped the previous class and we just continued from there. Mine
Okay.
doesn't act that way. I don't know.
Yes, yes. It doesn't act that way. So apologies for that. Apologies for that. I would really need to emphasize on the fact that this open file and this save are up here. And what do? They help you save your work. One helps you open what you have already saved. So this save file, mine, I've already saved. Okay, let's go here. Let's go to here when I was running all these queries on my own and checking. I had to run this query so that in case all these errors and everything. So this hasn't been saved, right? This is just me writing these queries. So if I actually press the save file, I can choose. So this is an SQL file, an SQL query. This is what I'm writing query, but it saves as a .sql file. So I cannot choose wherever I want it to save on my system. Let's say I'm saving it in, what was I saving it? Any random place, 18th November, right? So that's today. I'll just say create table. I don't need to change the file extension. And if I press save, now this file, this SQL file, so if I look for it on my thing, you can see this create table. So you can see it's create table. Maybe I should zoom in a bit. Yes, you can see it has been saved. And if you alternate enter, you see it's a .sql file, right? So now here's the issue, unfortunately, right? So we have, I don't think you were able to properly save. So let's say you are properly saved your work now, right? Let's say I open a new query tool, for example. This is a new query tool, is a blank one, a fresh one, for example. Or let me just actually open a fresh one. So it has don't save because it already been saved. But let's say create tool from the database, create a query tool all the way here. And now, like, this is a blank query tool. I've been able to save my work previously. So I can just remember this is the open file. It opens up a file in my system. Let's open the query table. And now it's here. So the thing is that you always have to save your file on your system. Then as you are writing queries now, see, I'm not writing any query. So yes, a little bit, the silhouette is not, it's not as dark as here. So as I write new queries or anything, basically, you can see it's now more darker. So I can now click on it and you can see file saved successfully.
Okay, okay, now I get. So if we want to just go back to it, we'll go to that saved whatever. The,
Yes. So you go to, yes.
file folder, then click on the file to show.
Yeah. So if you open a new session now, there will not be any query tool here. So you try to create a query tool. Yeah, where's query tool? I've forgotten. Okay, towards the end. Create a query tool. Now you just now have to look for wherever it was saved on your system. And remember, always be saving, always be saving. So as you see this beginner's SQL now, I've not saved it. I've saved it on my system, but I've not saved the updates that I've written. So always press Ctrl S.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, welcome, sir. You're
Because
welcome, sir.
it has been giving me a thought anyway.
Very sorry about that. Could have specified. Okay. So this is yes, we're answering, I think we're answering Glory's question of how to change the data type of your column. So alter table. So it's always going to start with alter table because you are altering the table structure. The next thing now is like what specifically so it's not really that crazy actually if you look at it. It's the next thing now is a specific thing we want to do, which is alter the column. We're not, and within this query now, we're now more specific to say, okay, alter column departments. We want to say type is varchar. So we're altering the column department to be a type called varchar. So that's why we have the type now, varchar, as varchar.
What if the mistake is not data type? You want like to make a correction of grammar, like misspellings. Is it the same way alter column?
So misspellings is going to be different. In terms of that's renaming your columns, right? Is it when you're spelling, like that's the create statement when you're creating your table,
Yes.
right? And you put a wrong spelling in your listing.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yes, yes.
So that one can be done. It can be done, but let's talk about the okay, you can also what's it called? That one should be able to be done, and you can also like change the what's it called? You can also rename your table actually. You can actually rename your table. So you should be able to do that, and you should be able to rename your table. So let's try that. So what should we rename this thing as? What should we rename here? What should we, okay, well, let's call employee, let's call department. No, let's call department as employee department. So it's still alter table. So let me put it down here. So alter table. But specifically, we want to change column name. So it's still alter because like as long as the table you're working with, most of the time it's alter table. So I'll first say alter table. And what table am I altering? We said we wanted to change department to employee department. So we just have employee in the name. So alter table, sorry, if I write the wrong thing, employee name, that's the name of the table. If I say that's the name of the column, yeah, alter table employee name. That's that. Now you have to also be specific. So now we use the rename. Rename. So this is not alter column again, because like we're not all changing the column. Before we said okay, alter column. That one we change the column type. This one now is just as it's called, rename column. I won't say alter because we want to rename the column. So in SQL, you can literally just say rename column. So instead of alter column this time, since it's rename, you can just say rename, literally rename the column. You want to change the name, rename column. You want to change department, right? Want to change it to what? We want to change department to employee department. So this is a different one, but it's almost the same at the same time. So it's not really crazy. If you look at it, alter table, employee new, rename column department to employee department. So let's check this if it works. Alter table query return successfully. So let's confirm if that actually did work, whether SQL is lying to us or telling us the truth. So select all from employee new. So you can see employee department. Employee department. So alter table, rename column. Alter table, rename column. Alter table, rename column. Alter table, rename.
What if you want to rename the table? It's the same thing, alter table, rename table, right?
So it's slightly different. Slightly different. So remember, this is alter table. So rename table is slightly different. Slightly different. Slightly different because like okay, let's do it. Let's do it. So if you want to change this table name to something, But just be very careful with this table renaming, because why I say that is because now that if I actually rename table, right? So before, if you remember, I was saying select all from employee new. Now, if we say select all from employee new and we have renamed the table, you can see it's turning to something else. It's turning to something else.
Pardon?
Like if, for example, now, so it's still other table as you said, right? But like I'm saying, we have always been saying select all from the table called employee new. It's still other table, right? So let's clarify that. But we have always been saying select all from employee new. So if I change it now to something else, I can't really say select all from employee new again because I've altered the table. So it's kind of like, it's almost like this. It's almost like this. So you're correct on that. It's almost like this. So alter table, change table name. So let's Ctrl C on this. Unless I don't know if we have been following, but I'm just going to paste this and let's see us try it out. Let's see us try it out. I want us to actually try this out. So change table name. I actually want to see us try this out. So I'll call alter table employee. That's what I want to change. So I'll rename, not column again. I will not say rename column. I will just say rename to directly. So I can say rename to, what should we call it? Staff. Let's say staff. I hope there's no staff this thing in these my tables because I have some things here already. There's already staff. Let's call it employee, company employees. Let's call it company employee. Yes, I already have staff within my database. You probably don't have in yours, but I already have in mine. So alter table rename to staff to company employee. So query run successfully. Let's try run this. This someone select all from employee new. Let's see what happens. Wow. I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing.
It's affecting previous codes, right?
Yes, because they can't run again, like because now we have changed it. Does not work because does not exist, which is this. This does not work because because table employee new does not exist. So before I've not refreshed my database. I may be able to see employee new. You can see employee new. This is the former one. This database has not been refreshed. Like if I refresh it now, you would see company employee. So you can see employee new right here for now. For now. For now. For now. So let's refresh this. Refresh. Now we're saying company employee, not employee new. So unfortunately, you need to be very careful with alter table because like basically you have altered your table structure. You have changed what you had before to something else. So it's basically almost like alchemy. You have changed something from gold to silver or to something else. So now we will be using company name. Although company employee is a bit company employee is a bit long, but yeah, I didn't think of any name on the fly that we could change it to company employee. So it's now be select all from where? To be select all from where, please?
Company employee.
Company employee.
Company employee, yeah, because we have changed this thing. So just be careful when we are doing all things like this. When we are trying to company. Oh, sorry, company employee. Everybody said company employee. I want to go and put employee new. Put something different. So company employee. So yeah, company employee is what we will now be calling. Is what we will now be calling. So has anybody tried this would like to show us what's going on? So Glory, have you tried it out? Which one have you tried out? Let's see.
No, me, I'm just listening. Then I watch the video, I redo. I find that better for.
Okay, you find that better. If you say so, that's also a good Good style. It's a good style also.
Because at times I find when you are doing, I'll be left out because of flipping through the windows.
Yes, it might be a bit slower. Sometimes too. Sometimes too. So we have actually what have we not covered in terms of author table? We have been able to rename the table. We have been able to rename the column. We have been able to, which other thing did we do? We have been able to change the data type, right? That's the one that we did, the varchar, author table, author column. Author table, we alter the column to something different. So I've renamed the table. So this is, I think this rename table, we need to be just very cautious about that because as I mentioned now, I can't run the formal queries again and they won't work basically. I can't say select all for all the things I've run backwards can't be rerun, unfortunately, unless I change the table name. But yeah, what if I don't know that and I'm like wondering? So we need to be very careful about how we work with the alter. I usually don't change personally. I usually don't like to change my table name because why would I define a table name that I'm not sure of in the first place? So like whatever I call my tables, why I call it throughout. Personally, for me, I think that's also good practice too. But still, regardless, if you want to change it, now you know that it's possible, and there's nothing stopping you from doing that. But personally, it's always good to always define what you will use throughout, except maybe in cases where you want to change the data types. Now, data types you might have defined the wrong one. So I can see that being more useful personally, for me at least. That's the author table rename. Author table, author column. Put the column you want to alter. You put the type. You actually write type, then put the type after. Personally, I think that's might be more useful to me than what's it called? The other ones. I don't know if anybody is on me with that. Yeah, but that's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. So I think we should be able to look at one more thing in terms of the alter. Is there any other thing we can look at? Alter table, alter column. I think we should be done with that. We should be done with that. But any questions so far? Okay, let's add. What if we want to add a table? Should I give us that question or should we explore that together? I
Another
don't think we're
table.
add table. Yes, like no, sorry, if I say add table, excuse me on that. Add a column because now we have
Outer table.
probably yes.
I think
What?
you put outer table and column.
Okay. So let me just write it down. Add a column. Lori, it seems like you've probably done this before.
No, I'm just following through.
Yes, yes, and you can see how SQL is quite I don't know how it flows.
No, I think I'm just starting to understand it. Previously, I was not.
No problem, no problem. SQL has a certain like the structure. Once you just see just estimates how the thing is looking like. Sometimes you can just be able to guess, and you'll be like, oh, this is actually correct. Like you'll be shocked. Uh, so yeah, it's basically the flow that we're following. So it's still alter. So alter table. What column should we add in this case now? Let's add something like we'll figure out alter table. Let me just write the alter table first. Alter table. Anybody with ideas can just go ahead. Alter table. So it's now company employee. So add column. Let's add the country. Let's add country. Yes, that they are from. Add column country. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah. So add column country. I don't think we have any country information here, at least from what I can see. And what is the column data type? So country, I would say varchar. So this one now, yeah, is almost like when we are defining the table, like when we're creating a table. Now, for example, if you put the column, you put after you put the column, so it's like saying create table, country, voucher. But this is alter table. What do we say? Add column, country, voucher 50. This is basically it. Why am I? Why I'm beginners SQL? So yeah, let me save this. So add column, country, voucher. So let's run this and let's see if we are correct on this. Let's see if we are correct on this. Alter table query returned successfully. Let us use our select all statement. So find out if we actually have this column, because I don't know if you can guess, the column is going to be empty because there's nothing there, right?
Yes, I do.
Or am I the only one there? So, okay. So it's going to be, oh no, because there's nothing there. So maybe I think we should do an exercise, a short exercise. So let us, so Glory, let's give Glory. I don't know if, I hope most of us are on the same page with me, but let's give Glory, let's say she's from South Africa. Oh, Glory, please, where are you from?
Kenya.
Kenya, okay. Glory is from Kenya. I don't think there's a Mary in this group, but there's the person in this group. Glory will say Kenya. So I'll say Glory equals it like that. Glory Kenya. A short exercise. Mary will be from, for instance, South Africa, right? John will be from Niger. Ona, let's say she's from Egypt. EGY. Yeah. So let us just quickly do this exercise to add these to give these people these countries. So anyway, there's Glory, Kenya, in the country. So Mary, South Africa, John will be from Niger, and Fiona will be from Egypt. So I think we can do this. So who wants to take over our screen and show us how this is done? Just a quick reminder, a quick refresher. Or should we do it first? Papa Charles, Papa Charlie.
Okay, sir.
Want
I
to try
think
that
you
out?
let me walk you. I think it should be alter table, insert the alter table, company employee. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Insert
Okay, go ahead.
insert
Maybe I should stop
into.
you there. Yes, is the insert. So I won't say insert it all, but we basically remember the insert it is to bring in new things per row, kind of. I think we talked about that in our previous class.
Okay,
So
okay.
this one, remember we did that update something set. That's what we're going to use.
Okay.
If you remember where,
Yeah,
so where the employee name is Glory, the country will
that is,
be equals
in
to,
essence, you'll be doing update country where.
yes. Uh, okay. If it falls in line, remember how we did it in our previous class. In our previous class, did we do it like that? Did we say update country where, or how do we do it? Remember, is update table. So just a reminder, I'm not going to go up and show us, but I'll just say updates. Remember, update table. Then set. We set. I think we did. I think maybe for Mary, was it which person we do for Peter? I remember for Peter. Yes, we said whether set department equals to, I think we gave Peter fisheries or mining. We gave Peter mining. Set department equals to mining. We now said where employee name equals to Peter, something like that. So it's going to be the same thing for this. So I want us to just quickly do this short exercise just as a kind of like reminder before we continue. So we can try doing this. I think Glory, maybe.
Yes.
Let's give this to you.
No, let William try. You're so quiet. Not talk to
What do you say?
your class. I'm saying we gave it to William. You're so quiet.
You should give it to William. William's are you
Maybe
there?
he's there.
Yes, I'm here, but Mr. Okay, I can see your screen now. But I don't know whether your screen is hanging
Why you
or
not seeing
my
me
phone.
before? Maybe it's your phone.
Yes, I
Oh.
was trying to. That's why I just log out and log in now.
Okay, you're using your phone.
Yes, I'm using my phone. My system is down.
Okay, unfortunately, we can't be able to give it to you. So Glory, just do for Glory, do for Glory and Mary, and maybe John. Let's say
So
do
I
for
tell
Glory
you
and
what
Mary.
to write.
Yeah. So you put I don't know if you are following like you are where we are in terms of this data that I'm using.
No, me,
Right?
I'm not doing. I'm just following. But
Okay, you're not following.
that's why I was asking you if I should tell you what you should do, or you want someone who will write it.
Okay. Tell me what I should do. Tell me what I should do.
Update
So if I want to
country.
update, okay, update country. Are you sure?
Oh no, we should start with the table, right?
Yes.
Mm,
So update table. Is that what you're saying?
update table, yeah.
Okay. What next?
Then insert country where Glory is Kenya, like that now.
Okay.
Instructor, because let me try. Let me try.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
We have to update the table, so we have to use
Okay.
update company employee, then
Okay.
set country.
Set.
Um,
Oh, sorry. Set country.
set country
Yes.
Kenya,
Okay.
where employee name is Glory.
Country Kenya.
Kenya. Set country Kenya, where employee name is Glory, with the column.
So should I put equal to country? Should I say country equals to Kenya?
No, I mean set country. That would be set country. You open a column. Or what do you call it again? It's a semicolon. Can you hear me?
Okay, I've done that. Yes, I'm near you. I've done set country Kenya. So is this okay?
Then where employee name is Glory.
Where employee name?
Glory.
Okay. So shall I write is Glory?
No, not is Glory. Glory.
Where employee name
Equal
Glory?
to.
I guess you
Yeah.
use an
Okay,
equal
equal.
sign.
Yeah, it's an equal
Okay.
sign.
How about for the country Kenya? Should I also use an equal sign?
Yes, you use an equal sign.
Okay. So update company employee, set country equals to Kenya, where employee name equals to Glory. Okay, let's run it. Okay, successful. Let's confirm if we are actually successful with that. Let's confirm. So fingers crossed. Okay. We are correct. We are correct. We're good. We're good to go. We're good to go. We are good to go. So Glory, computer science, our country is Kenya. So we are very much good to go. So thank you very much. I appreciate I appreciate our joint efforts. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's good. That's good. So let's skip. Should we also do for let's not do for Mary, John, Fiona, except you want us to do, but I think we did something like this a lot in our previous class. Except if it's one of one of us that are sharing our screens. But yes, I think we're good to go. I think so. We are able to at least do something like this easily. That's very good. That is very cool. That is very cool. That's very cool. So I think we can be able to tell us from what we've done so far. I can just ask anybody, and okay, maybe I'll ask Williams. Okay, what's the difference between delete and or let's say delete from, or what's the difference between delete? What's the difference between drop? What's the difference between truncate? Can anybody give us the answer? Okay, if we're okay with truncate, this truncate does this versus delete, which does this versus drop, which does this. Can anybody give us the answer to that?
Okay, let me try, let me give it a go.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, when you say truncate, from the example we tried out today, truncate basically removes the whole what's it called, data sets from the table. But
Okay.
when you say drop basically deletes the table completely.
Okay.
From
How
from
about the delete?
when you say what?
With the delete, there's something delete also.
I think delete also deletes. I'm not using query wise.
Yes, like when we write delete, I
Hello,
think we
sir.
did delete from. Yes, I'm hearing you. Like we did delete from.
It's
I
a go,
think we
sir.
did so. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I think I don't know what delete will do. I think delete will also remove the records from the table, as do the same thing that truncate does, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I would have to stop you there. It's on. I won't say it does the same thing that truncate does.
I've not tried. Hello, sir.
I can hear you.
Network.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay, I don't think we
Can
did
you hear me,
delete.
sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
No, I'm just assuming that delete will just delete the table
Okay, we did
from the
delete. We did
database.
delete. We did delete. So delete, if you can recall, I'm recalling this astrology now. Yeah, delete is to remove something specifically from the table. Delete from table, or delete from employee. We did delete from employee where department equals to astrology, if you remember. And when we did that, the astrology, what the astrology, like basically we removed that area called astrology in our table. I don't know if you remember. I can try simulate it again. Let's try this again. Let's try delete, just jog our memory. So let's delete astrology. Let's bring it up all down. Did we talk about it? I think we just talked about it once. So we just talked about it once. So let's just remind us. For example, delete from. So this time is delete from company employee. So let's just see what this does again. So let's delete, what should we say? So where department equals to fisheries. Yes. Let's see what this does again. Department does not exist. Oh yes, I'm forgetting that we changed our structure. Where employee departments, remember our new structure. Employee oops, what's going on? Employee department, oops, that's supposed to be an underscore. Employee department equals to fisheries. So one deleted. So let's confirm what's going on there. Let's confirm what's going on there. So select all from company employee. Now we don't have John's data anymore. We don't have John's data anymore. We don't have John's data anymore because said delete from employee, where the department equals to fishes, and the department equals to fishes was for John, basically like was information for John, like that row of data was John's info, and we now said we want to delete it from employee basically. So the delete works differently from the drop. It works differently from the truncate. I think we should be able to tell the difference. If there's any question, you can go ahead and ask.
Okay. Okay, this is more or less a comment. For the sake of clarity, sir.
Yes.
For the sake of clarity, delete. So delete just removes a record.
Yes. Delete
Maybe
removes
more or less it just moves like a row.
Yes.
Truncate removes the whole data sets from the table.
Yes, but keeps the table structure.
Just what you now have is just column names.
Yes, the column names.
Why drop deletes the whole table completely?
The whole table, yes.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
No problem, no problem, no problem, no problem. Although that's the explanation, that's the explanation, that's the main explanation. That's the main explanation. Delete, depending on how we use it, might also work with might work almost like the truncate, depending on how we use it. I didn't want to mention this, but I think we should also mention this. So what if instead of saying let's delete John, I say, okay, let's delete the structure, remove the structure. Not the structure, but let's delete everything. Let's remove everything. It should work, or it works almost like the truncate depending. So if I just say delete from company employee, let's test it out. It should work. So, but usually this is delete structure, delete from the table, then you set your where condition. But what if I don't set where conditions? It should X everything out. So we've deleted 3 things, and you can confirm here that there's nothing in our data anymore. So delete, the structure is usually delete from table, then you set your where conditions. But if you just say delete from the table without setting any conditions, it works like the truncate. It literally deletes everything except the structure, of course. You can see the structure is the same. So it literally deletes everything but keeps the structure. So that deletes now. Yeah, you're correct on that. But depending on, you can see, depending on how we use this delete now, if you use delete completely, like with the where, you can specify the rules or the records you want to remove, right? But now if you just say delete from like this, so this basically truncates. I don't know if you're there.
Yes, sir.
So Glory Williams, can anybody, like right now, like as we are right now, we all, I think each of us should be able to, because like you can be asked this question in interviews depending on where you, like as a data analyst, like trying to, they can ask you, okay, try to delete, drop, truncate, and drop in SQL. You can see how easy it is. But when you start hearing, okay, delete, drop, when you hear truncate, what the hell, you know now, that kind of thing is just as if you're bringing.
Let me ask something.
Go ahead.
Drop will remain it, but it will not appear. It will be somewhere in the system, but deleting is deleting everything.
No, drop literally like drop actually deletes your table. Drop table. Like it actually like your table is gone. It's gone from your database, right? The delete you can use to remove specific records. But you can also, depending on what the thing I just showed us now, is that depending on how we write our delete, just delete from this table, it now works like the truncate. So it literally removes all the records in our table, and we just have the structure. Truncate.
So drop will delete even the structure.
Yeah, everything. Yes, even the structure. The structure doesn't exist again because you've dropped it. You have dropped it. And like I know this drop and delete and everything is sounding the same because I'm saying drop is delete and delete is to remove, but it's just this is just how it works. Delete you choose the record you want to delete or the thing you want to delete, or you just say delete from, and it actually deletes everything but keeps the structure. Truncate deletes everything but keeps the structure, but drop deletes the structure, deletes the content, like deletes the table. The table doesn't exist anymore. So you can see with the delete and truncate, I can refresh this thing however I want, and you can see the employee, company employee there. If I decide to drop, which I don't feel like I should do, but yes, if I decide to drop, let's do it. Drop table, if you remember, right? Am I correct? You can correct me if I'm wrong. Drop table, company, employee. If I drop it and I refresh, so let's run this. Drop table, return successfully. Let's refresh our tables because it's still showing here, right? You might think, oh, it's still there. Or let me even select all before I refresh. Select all from company employee. Company employee does not exist. So let's refresh this. It does not exist anymore. So you can see what the drop has done to us. It has left us without a table to work with, unfortunately. I don't know if you're there with me.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So
Cool.
then it means drop is what a layman person would think is delete, because
It's
for me,
delete, yes.
I would take this as deleting everything.
Yes.
So it's like they're alternating.
Kind of. It's just the way they are speaking the grammar or speaking the English, as we say. Dim, I think delete is to remove everything, like to delete everything, but it doesn't necessarily delete the, like, if you use just the delete, of course, it delete all the records, but you still have the table structure. So it sounds like you're actually removing everything, including table structure, because it's delete in quotes, that's the name, but it doesn't work the way it sounds.
So in that case, then delete and truncate are serving the same purpose.
No, I would say not the same purpose, because truncates, like deletes just has the normally, right? Deletes is used to specifically drop rows or records. Yeah. But if you don't, because like now it's used to specifically, you can say delete from and you say where and choose where you want to delete, right? But now let's say you don't choose where you want to delete and just say delete from. It literally deletes everything like in your table, but keeps the structure, of course. So it's not as if it's working, basically working like truncate, but it's because I wrote it like this: delete from company employee. Truncate just delete everything at once. But delete now, you can see the one up here. I said delete from company employees where department is equals of issues. So it's like I can customize how I can work with delete. Like I can say, okay, I don't want to just delete everything because I don't want that's basically truncate. I don't want to do that. I want to just delete specific items. I don't know. Is it still?
No, I get it. I get it
Okay.
now.
No problem. I'm very happy. So I'm sure at this
On
point,
normal coding, you use delete more, but when you want to delete the whole table remain with the structure, you use truncate. And when you want to
yes,
remove the table completely, you use drop.
yes.
Okay.
So any other questions so far? I'm glad we are moving at a very good pace. We're moving at a very good pace. I'm moving at a very good pace. I think one more thing I would say or show us, because we don't have to delete the table, right? We don't have to truncate the table. Basically, like we don't have to do specific things from a table. We know how to work with the delete that is in a way that's looking like the truncates. We know how to work normally with the truncate and remove all the records. We know how to drop a table. But what if, and we also, funny enough, we know how to, not funny enough, we also know how to add a column, right? If you remember, alter table, add column, you
Yes.
put your data type. So one thing we haven't talked about looking at this is how do you drop a column? Have we talked about that? We have not talked about drop column. We've talked about add, or remove column, or anyhow you want to call it. We haven't talked about how to like remove a column. So unfortunately, we have
But I
deleted.
guess
Yeah, you can guess. You can go ahead
I
and
think
guess.
it's
Yes.
the same.
Okay.
alter table,
Mm-hmm.
then delete,
Alter table. Okay. Oh, my
then
spellings.
delete column, where maybe you specify the column.
Yes. Delete column. Okay.
Then you say where maybe it's department, right? Where you use
No,
where
no,
there.
no, 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 no. You can't. No, you can't really say where. You just say the column specifically. So if the column was department, for example, alter table. Let's say the table is still this company name. Maybe still exists, right? Company employee. Let's say the company employee still exists. But I think if I go all the way up, we should have a table. We should have a table. We should have a table that we created that previous class. I think employee. I'm not sure. But let me go all the way up and see the first table we created. So let's try it. Table creation. Employee. Yes, it was employee. So we can try it out on employee table. We employee new was basically a copy of the employee table that we created. So let's test it out. Select all from employee. Let's test this out and see whether is we manually created this one in the previous class. So yes, this was the former one. The employee name was the other one. So alter table, company employee, delete column, department. Let's see if we are right. Delete. So drop column. It's not delete column, it's drop column. Just in case. I think drop column. Company, oops, sorry, I'm referencing the wrong the wrong thing. So let's call this deleting, and this is department. Yes, or deleting column. Let's call it deleting column, maybe better. Caps lock, deleting column. So alter table, employee, drop column, departments. So we're correct. So select all from employee. So we don't have the departments anymore. We don't have the departments anymore. So I don't know whether it's just me, but it's kind of intuitive one kind. It's kind of, you can see how Glory she's guessing, but she's very correct. Almost 100% of the time. So SQL, like if you just follow the structure, or just try to understand the structure, you might already even know it without knowing that you know it. It's SQL. Some places SQL, you see some people complaining, oh, SQL is hard, SQL is this. Not really. It just needs you to work with it. Just need to work with it, work with SQL. And you see SQL is basically trying to make life easy for you because everything already has a structure. You just need to work with it in a way that the structure allows. You need to work with it that the structure allows, the way the structure allows. So far so good. We have talked about a lot. We have talked about the DML, data manipulation language. So if you hear anywhere you say DML, oh, don't be scared. Don't be scared right now also, because we have covered it. Data manipulation language. What do I even mean? We've talked about the insert into. So the insert, let me comment the code. So, okay, insert into. You know what? Insert into DML. We've talked about the updates. So the updates into and values. I can put one values here. Set into and values. I've talked about the updates. I've talked about the deletes. So if anybody asks you, give us some data, what's it called? Manipulation language, DML data is something you already know. These are just ways of confusing people. Sometimes if you're not used to the terms manipulation language. So this is DML, and we've talked about them. It's sent into the updates. I've talked about the deletes, and now DDL. We have also talked about the DDL languages? Data definition, languages or language. And what do I mean? Well, this is looking confusing. This is looking crazy. Not at all. Not at all. So the create table is one of them. Create table is one of them. The alter table is one of them, which we have been working with consistently, and Gloria has been giving us the answers back to back. Rename table. Oops, if I say equal to the drop table. You can be mentioning it as I'm writing it down. The truncate table. So it's something we already. So truncate table, drop column. Which other thing? We also did rename. So rename table, rename column. So you can see, somebody asks you, oh, give me some data definition languages. Don't be scared. I think it's something that we are all used to at this point. If there's otherwise, or if there's a naysayer, or that I know it's to it yet, so you can ask questions that we can cover. But basically, this is what we've been able to cover. And not just this, we also talked about, let's not forget, importing data into pgadmin. So any questions so far? Anything you need more clarity? Anything you think we should talk about more? Anything you didn't really get that much? So DML, data manipulation language. Data manipulation language. Talk about inserting to and values, the updates, the deletes. The DDL, the define this thing. So alter table, table name table. So we've been able to talk about something, some cool stuff. So any questions so far? If you have any questions, or if you just need something you need to clarify, this issue, go ahead. Are we there? I hope I'm not talking to myself. You know, the classes can be, network can be funny once in a while. Yeah, but any issues, anything we need to clarify, feel free.
For now, no, maybe when we go back and revise, we'll have more questions to ask.
No problem. How about you, Glory?
No question for now.
Okay, Williams? No, is it William? Okay, I don't know whether he's still with us, but he should still be with us. So far, so good. I really like our progress. So from the next class, we are planning to actually start because like we have been trying to define a lot of things, like not really define a lot of things. We're trying to approach this in a practical way and let us see different aspects. So how to, because like this is not Excel. In Excel, all these things will be easy. We just enter Excel and you can just click on the general, you click on this, you click on that, you can just click on the column, you go to all these places, A, B, C, you click on C, and I don't know, my Excel is not open, but you get the idea. You can just easily manipulate data in Excel. It's not as if it's hard in SQL, but of course, you have to get used to the conventions in SQL, which is what I've been trying to do. I'm trying to get used to, okay, almost like, okay, and what's the Excel equivalent of this kind of? So in Excel, of course, if you want to drop a column, you don't have to start saying drop alter table, drop column. No, but now you can see, okay, it's different for SQL. You have to do it in a way that SQL understands. So that is the meaning of structured query language. Structured query language, it's a language, and it's structured. And you're using to create a database. So everything has to come together full circle. If you tell it things in a way it doesn't understand, it gives you nothing that you can work with. And I don't know if you've noticed that most of the times that we saw errors, even for the time Papa Charlie, like your errors now, that time you're trying to work with your data, and notice that, okay, we saw that, okay, it's giving us some kind of error. Like that time I said view process and we looked at the process. PG admin is very, it's almost as if there's an AI in it, kind of. You can see it was specifically telling us that, okay, we are having errors with the dates. I don't know if you saw it. If we didn't see that, because we tried different things, right? And we tried to like troubleshoot actually what's going on, like the problem. We try to solve the problem. But unfortunately, because we saw, or let's not say unfortunately, fortunately, because we saw that specific error, you can see we're able to take care of what we needed to do. And even within the course of this class, there are sometimes I run one or two things and you can see maybe error showed. And just by reading the error, I can know, oh, this, that, like all the way back when I forgot that the table we're looking at is now the employee, not the company employee, because the company employee does not exist again. You can see it told us the error it told us, or I can even run this. Select all from employee. So the thing I'm trying to mention is SQL, especially PG admin. It's very easy to work with. So relation company employees does not exist. So even in the errors, it tries to tell you what to do. It tries to help you out. It tries to give you hints. Yeah. So this is almost reminding me of Python, because in Python there are different kinds of errors. There's the type error, there's the syntax error, there's the a different kind of, but you can see like SQL. I just want to put it, or I'm sure by now at least we can already have it in the back of or we already know, or we already have it at the back of our minds that working with PG admin, working with SQL is not that crazy. It's not that crazy. So we are on our way to becoming SQL rock stars with POSHEM. So that's very good. I really love that. I really, really love that. So in our next class, or maybe we can even do it now, we'll be trying to explore, like now, we're not really going to be focusing on the DTL and creating tables, and we're going to create tables, of course, but we're not, maybe as assignment and things, we're not really going to focus on that aspect. We're going to focus on direct querying. So I don't know if we have seen, I don't know our experience with SQL. I'm just assuming everything is at the base level, right? So let's say we're not trying to manipulate data in terms of like we're not trying to manipulate or alter tables or change data types and things like that. We're trying to directly work in SQL. There's something you need to know that we'll mostly be using. So this is our structure. I'm just going to write something long for you, and it's going to look long, but it's not that crazy. So select from. If I write select from and where, you can kind of get it. Let's say select all from a specific table. Let's say select all, right, from a specific table. Let's say from employee, where let's say employee ID. So you're already kind of used to seeing something like this, where department equals to, let's say fisheries. I think we're used to this, is seeing something like this. I think we should be. Is that a yeah or is that an A? I don't know if I'm by myself.
Pardon?
Like I'm just asking us, like we are kind of used, kind of like from just the the working with tables and alternate tables and things like that, especially from the update and things like that. Like we're kind of used to seeing something like this. So this kind of selects star from employee where department equals to fishery. Can you have an idea of what this will give us? For example,
Yeah, it will retrieve the table employee with only the column of department. Fishery, sorry.
okay. Close to that, close to that. We'll explore something like this in our next class. So it's not, yes, it's basically filter our entire data, yeah, by where the department is actually fisheries. So this is, I can maybe show you, let me show you this quickly. I'm going to start everything from scratch because you currently don't have the data sets. I'm going to show you how you're going to get it in the next class. I'm going to send a link. I'm going to show you how I'm going to export these data sets from my end and give it to you guys. But let's just just look at something briefly, just very shortly. Select all. I'm just going to click everything from, let's say, select all from film. So I have a film table in my database. You don't have it, but this is what it's going to give me. Okay, select all. Oh yeah, from. See me forgetting my from film. So it's going to show me everything in my film table. Yeah. Select all from film. It's going to show me everything in my film table. So if I say, although this is different from this, where if I say where title is equal to something, or where, let's say, and where ratings, yes, from this thing, so you can see from film where rating is equal to PG. This is basically the same thing, like the same kind of structure that we're going for. So we're specifically trying to filter this film table by the ratings PG. So remember, we said select all, so it's not just going to give us the ratings column. We're selecting everything, all the columns of our data. And you can see, if I go all the way to ratings, my data set, you would only see PG being there. So where's rating? Where's rating? Where's rating? Go to ratings. If I go down, I don't know if you saw that there are different ratings before. If I keep scrolling, only PG. So take note, this is select, star means all. If I say from film, I see all my tables in the film. I see all my columns in the film table. When I say where rating is equal to PG, I still see all my columns in the film table, but filtered by ratings must be PG, because I'm saying where ratings is equal to PG. So anywhere I check the ratings, or if it was department equals to fisheries, so anywhere I check the department is going to be fisheries and fisheries alone. It's going to be fisheries and fisheries alone. So we are going to try to start exploring how to actually query our data set directly. We're not trying to edit our table this time. We're not going to trying to drop column this time. We're trying to see, okay, how can we find information from the table we currently have? Let's say the way we define where our tables or in our create table statement, we're okay with it. The amount of columns we have, we're okay with it. Now we actually want to start getting information. We actually want to start extracting info. We actually want to start understanding what's going on in our data. So this is going to be where we're going to continue from, or where we're going to start from in our current class, which will be on Wednesday. So I'd say thank you guys very much. I hope this class has been very good. So POSHEM appreciates you guys. POSHEM is very happy that everybody's getting things. So we're happy that you guys are becoming SQL rock stars. So much appreciated. You guys are much appreciated. Thank you very much from POSHEM team. So we'll continue from here in our next class. So see you guys there. We really love to see you guys there. So thank you very much. We appreciate.
Thank you very much.
And cheers to us becoming SQL rockstars. So don't forget to save your work.
Thank you
Save
very much.
file.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. So I'm seeing the chat. Yes, the filtered by what is selected. Yes, that's true. So we'll continue from this in the next class. So thank you guys very much. See you guys in the next class. Thank you for choosing POSHEM. Thank you very much. So let me stop this recording. Yes. So he wants to stop recording to take it out, right? This is yes, right?